Story time with Fergie and friends.
T-Rex Max looked round and saw that the storm was getting closer and closer. It certainly is. The storm is definitely getting closer and closer. The wind blew wild and cold, the clouds were dark, and the thunder got louder and louder. Well, yes, okay. With every bang, Max looked up at the stormy sky and thought, oh, I know what it is. The other dinosaurs must be afraid of the storm. Of course, poor little dinosaurs. It must be hard being small and silly. Oh, what was Max going to do now? As he was looking up to the sky, he spotted Terry the pterodactyl. Yay! There is Terry the pterodactyl. I know what to do. I'll ask Terry to scratch his nose. If he sits on my nose, he can do it with his hands. Hey, Terry, can you come and sit on my nose for a minute, please? He roared and jumped up to attract Terry's attention. Terry the pterodactyl saw Max jumping up and down and heard a loud roar, wah, and something about sitting on his nose. What? Terry thought T-Rex Max was going to try and eat him. Oh no, poor Max. No way, Max, I'm no fool, he shouted back at Max and started flying faster than ever towards the secret cave where the friends all were by now. When he arrived, he wanted to tell the others about what had happened. Just then, the thunderstorm arrived. It was so big and so loud they couldn't hear anything else. I think Max tried to eat me. He roared at me and wanted to sit on my nose, Terry the pterodactyl said, as he landed next to his friends and began to shake the drops from his wings. Well, we're shaping drops from our wings right now as the rain comes through. But no one could understand him over the deafening cracks of thunder. Okay. What? We can't hear you, said Una the Triceratops. But you wouldn't believe what happened to me on my way here. Max was trying to eat me. He was running towards me and was roaring really loudly. But no one could understand her over the pounding of the rain on the ground in front of the cave. I beg your pardon, Stephanie the Stegosaurus said. I couldn't understand what you said. The thunder is too loud. But listen to what happened to me earlier today. I think Max wants to eat me. Oh, really? He was growling so loud, wah, and running to get me. But no one could understand her over the bang of thunder that cracked right above the cave. I'm sorry, what did you say? Asked Terry. This storm is too loud. I can't hear you. Oh my goodness me, they looked at each other, realising they couldn't talk over the loud thunderstorm. I don't like thunderstorms, cried all three of them all together as they tried to sit next to each other in their secret cave. Look, there they are. Meanwhile, T-Rex Max was really sad. His nose was terribly itchy and no one would help him. Was he really such a horrible beast that no one would be his friend? Poor Max. Oh, he liked being big and strong, and until now he had thought he didn't want to have any friends. But now that he did want to have friends and couldn't, it made him very, very sad. All of a sudden he stood up and said, I want to make friends. I don't care if the other dinosaurs are silly. I don't want to be alone anymore. And he started walking towards the mountain. Oh dear. He wasn't sure how was he going to find them, but thought he would walk the same way they did before, and hopefully he'd bump into them. Max was determined to talk to the others and to make friends. Yay, well done, Max. Come on, let's go make friends. He walked and wet from head to toe. Yes. And in the pouring rain. Yes. But he couldn't find the others at all. He kept looking left, right. Yes, left, right. Where was he? Right. And was beginning to feel quite frustrated. Well, I can imagine I would be too. When he saw the huge raspberry bush, he realised he was quite hungry, so he sat down next to it and wanted to pick the raspberries to get a quick snack. But because his hands were so short, he had to lean closer to the bush and closer until, with a loud bang, he fell over it, right into it and squishing it down. Oh no. Look, he's in the raspberry bush and he squished their raspberry bush. Oh no. When Max looked up, he saw the cave, and sitting in it, looking at him, was Una the Triceratops, Stephanie the Stegosaurus, and Terry the pterodactyl. The three of them started panicking at the sight of T-Rex Max, thinking he followed them to eat them. No. Max stood up and smiled. He smiled, big, smiley Max smile. It wasn't sort of a friendly smiley smile, but it was a smile. He stood up and smiled and waved at them. Well, he tried to wave, but his arms were much too short to wave properly, so they were just jiggling about in the air in front of him, and the three friends thought Max would look so funny trying to wave, but they burst out laughing. Oh, okay, good. What's so funny, T-Rex, Max asked, and this time, because of the thunderstorm, his roar was not too loud. In fact, it was just loud enough for the others to understand what he was saying, and not so loud that they got scared. Yay! They looked at each other and said together, so that they would be louder than the thunderstorm, "Your arms look silly when you waved." Well, that wasn't very nice, was it, poor Max? Max stopped in his tracks and thought, I can't be silly like the others. I'm a T-Rex. Rah! I can run very fast and I have a loud roar, and I'm very tall, very tall. Then he realised his nose was still itchy. His arms tried to make it to scratch, but couldn't reach, and the funny movements of his arms in the air made the little dinosaurs giggle again. T-Rex Max laughed as well and said, "I suppose I'm a little silly too, aren't I? A bit of a silly Billy. I think I am. Could you help me, please? I have a leaf stuck on my nose and it's really itchy." "Of course," shouted the others, and all of them reached over to scratch his nose. Stephanie, the Stegosaurus, used her tail, and Una, the Triceratops, used her horns, and Terry, the pterodactyl, used his hands. "Great, thank you, Petra. Yes, you are testing my reading skills, Petra. Ha! We read on. Come on, let's hear what happened to Max." "Aha! That's better, thank you," said Max, feeling much happier. "But why wouldn't you help me earlier?" "Well, you were too scary," the others shouted, and Max realised that they didn't dislike him, they just didn't know him. You see, we shouldn't ever judge anyone, should we, till we get to know them. He sat down in front of the cave and told them all about himself and how he liked to sing, but could never remember words of songs. Well, I agree, I can't either. So he had to hum them. And how he liked being tall and fast and loud. Stephanie, Una and Terry weren't scared of T-Rex Max anymore, now that they had got to know him. Then, more thunder rumbled over their heads, making everyone but Max shriek. "What is the matter now?" He asked. "We don't like thunderstorms. They're scary and loud." And the little dinosaur said, "Well, I'm scary and loud, and you like me, now that you understand me. I quite like thunderstorms. They're nothing but rain and some loud bangs and lightning," Max replied. "Exactly. Lightning and loud thunder. So scary," cried the others, still afraid to come out of their little place and shelter. Max stood up in the rain and began, "As long as you're not the tallest thing around, you are perfectly safe. Everyone knows that lightning only strikes the tallest ones. So you little dinosaurs will be safe and with me in a thunderstorm. In fact, I think that I like today's thunderstorm the best because thanks to the thunderstorm, I got to make friends today." Yes, good one, Max. The others looked up at the sky, which was beginning to clear. The rain was easing up, and the thunder quietened and seemed to be coming from further away. They weren't afraid anymore. They jumped out of the cave and started dancing around T-Rex Max in the fading rain, chanting, "Little dinosaurs like thunderstorms, little dinosaurs like thunderstorms, do-do-do-do-do." He was humming it, and they were all playing together in a lovely, lovely way.
With Fergie and friends, with Fergie and friends.